Hey everybody, my shed is completely finished, and in this video I'm going to take you on a brief tour of the shed, show you all of the features that I put into it, and I'm also going to talk briefly about some of my plans and what the future might hold for this particular building. So come on, let's check it out. So let's start this tour by taking a brief look at the exterior. As you can see, it's finished with lap siding, which is a perfect match for the lap siding that's on my house. And I painted it in the same color scheme as my house, so it fits in really nicely. In fact, I even tried to mimic all of the finish work on my house. The trim is the same, the little accents on the top of the roof are the same, even the bird boxes are the same as the ones that have been built into my house. I went with vented soffits so that it would be sure to dry out inside in case we ever had any water get in there. And I've installed the same color shingles on the roof to match the house as well. Both ends have a vent in the gable to allow for some ventilation, and both ends also have a nice big window like this to allow for some extra sunlight to get in. I've also installed these nice big double doors at both ends. Which will make it easy to get equipment into and out of whichever end of the shed is most convenient. Moving to the interior, you can see I've built it on a concrete slab and used 2x4 construction for the walls with the studs at 16 inches on center. I sheeted the entire exterior with OSB before installing the siding. And I've installed a loft, so there's even more storage up there. So the dimensions of this shed are 8 foot by 16 foot, so it's pretty large. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm planning to do with this shed. At least initially, I'm going to be planning to store gardening equipment out here, starting with this hose actually. You've already got that hung up. And that's just so I can have easy access to the hose in the backyard without having it hanging out on the back of the house all the time. But not only am I going to be putting some gardening equipment like a lawnmower out here, let me take you out to my garage and show you all the stuff that's going to come and live out in this space. So this is the current state of my workshop in my garage. As you can see, I've got quite a few hand tools. I've also got quite a few power tools, but this back part here has been just kind of the dumping ground for things that don't really belong in a wood shop, which is what I ultimately want this space to become, but that I didn't have any space to store anywhere else. So a lot of this is going to go right out into that shed. Got the lawnmower, some coolers, the snow blower, fertilizer spreader. Farther back here we go, we'll find a trailer full of firewood. I can't wait to get all this space back so that I can set up my workshop to be a much more productive and easy to use space. Alright, so as you can see, I've already started getting some of my items in here. And almost immediately I realize I'm going to need to start using all of this wall space rather than just stacking everything down on the floor. So I'll be putting up hooks for my weed trimmer, ways to store my shovels and rakes and things up on the wall, way to hold this little bumper trailer that I use when I go camping. Perhaps a way to stand up the wheelbarrow vertically and hang up the fertilizer spreader. So there's still quite a lot of work to do out here, and that's okay. So thanks for joining me, checking out the results of my new shed build. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you learned something, why don't you give me a big thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you haven't already, how about you subscribe so you can check out whatever I do next. And as always, thank you very much for watching.